Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future.
COVID-19. 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 Coronavirus is a disease that started from China, and the symptoms are coughing, sneezing, difficulty in breathing, and fever.
It is a disease that makes people sick, sneeze, run temperature, or cough.
Coronavirus is a chest infective virus that affects the lung and then slows down your breathing, chokes the air spaces in your lung. Slowly, you'll be able to breathe no more. Then you die.
The coronavirus is a disease that is dangerous.
Coronavirus is a disease that makes people sick. Coronavirus is a disease that makes you die. And before you die, you cough a lot. Coronavirus is a disease that if you cough or sneeze on somebody, you'll get sick, and the coronavirus will pass through your body and enter your lungs. It affects your lungs and you will not be able to breathe well. You'll breathe like this.
In order not to get the virus,
Wash your hands with soap and water.
And don't touch dirty stuff. Avoid crowded places.
Use sanitizer.
avoid touching your nose, eyes, and mouth in order for the virus not to get into your system.
Stand or sit 2 meters away from people.
Cough into your elbow or cough into a tissue. Then discard it into a bin. After you have discarded it, wash your hands again.
Wash your hands with running water and soap. You can either go to the doctor when you have the disease, or you can wash your hands, sanitize your hands, and stay at home.
When you want to go out, you must wear the face mask.
Everybody stay safe, stay home, and be nice. Stay home, stay safe, and save lives. COVID-19. 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 COVID-19.
Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Africa Daily Show on Africa Global Radio. Akwaba, Salama, Ekabo, Sanunku to all greetings to all African diasporans across the globe and all conscious African minds out there. You're once again welcome to the Africa Daily Show. It's the Friday, the 24th of July, 2020. Today is actually a special day. I mean, not just for me, but yeah, for a couple of people close to me. So I'm happy. Today is also a Friday and everybody loves Friday because it's actually the beginning of the weekend. Time check is 1 p.m. in Accra, Ghana, and the temperature is 26 degrees. It's 2 p.m. in Cotonou, Benin, and the temperature is 28 degrees. It's also 2 p.m. in Yaoundé, Cameroon, and Principe, and the temperature is 24 degrees. It's 3 p.m. in Harare, Zimbabwe, and the temperature is 17 degrees. The name is Epifania Jokoto Gligui. With me on the show is none other than Mamiaba Amwa Menta. Hi, baby.
Please, I'm not your baby. I am a grown woman.
Well, basically, I still like to call you my baby because you still exhibit signs of a baby.
Really?
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm good. You?
I'm cool. It's a Friday. Plans for the weekend?
No, please.
No plans for the weekend?
No, please.
Okay, that is a shock and a surprise. I mean, yeah. Okay, for those listening, yes. For me, it's a shock and a surprise, but it's a cool one, so... It's good you're fine, and it's good this weekend is going to be free and clear. It means you can rest a lot, right?
I always rest on the weekend.
You always rest on the weekend?
Yeah.
But that is new as well. So, I mean, I'm happy to know that. I'm sure Barry will be completely screaming and be wondering, hey, Mami Abba. Okay. Well, you guessed it right. Today's show is going to be driven by the ladies. Yes, Mami Abba and myself. Together, we'll bring you AGR good news, headlines across Africa, as we head to Equatorial Guinea, the Republic of Congo, and South Africa. And on What's Trending, we have quite some interesting things. We have hashtag Henderson and hashtag mood swings. I know you're wondering, what is Henderson and mood swings? I mean, is it a new thing or is it what we already know what it is? We'll also be taking a look at updates on COVID-19 and some relating issues surrounding it, as well as this week's big question. You know what to do with the big question. And on today, remember, well, if you don't know, Apollo 11 landed safely on Earth today. We also have Did you know? Do you know West African families have private library collections that go back hundreds of years? Well, we'll be talking about that today on the show. And our African champion also, Leima Gbowe, a Liberian activist. We have what's on and what's new, and we have today's poem by Beulah Nimene, The Key. Beulah Nimene, The Key. That is actually the poem that we'll be doing for today. And on What's On for today, there's a free global event taking place. And on What's New, we actually have an online store for black books, for books of black history. Like, I expect you to be shouting and screaming wherever you are, because this is a gold mine, an online bookstore of black history. We're so excited to be connecting with you, promoting, showcasing, exploring, and uncovering everything about Africa from around the continent all the way across the globe. Wherever you are, trust me, when I say we would love to hear from you, I'm not joking. You can connect with us via Facebook at Africa Global Radio and on Twitter and Instagram at AF Global Radio. You can also send us a WhatsApp on +233 20 706 4680 +233 20 706 4680. And you can also stream us live on africaglobalradio.com. Let's begin the show with some words of wisdom from AGR's Proverb of the Week.
Proverb of the Week. Proverb of the Week. Proverb of the Week.
Proverb of the Week. Now, you know how we do it. We always start the show with some great words of wisdom, and this is our proverb of the week. So we've been looking at an interesting proverb, and today we're still going to look at the same proverb, but take it from a different angle for today. So our proverb of the week this week has actually been coming from Djibouti, and it says, rather than get up and do a bad dance, stay put. Rather than get up and do a bad dance, stay put. We've been looking at it from different angles, and, well, Mommy,
Epi.
rather than get up and do a bad dance, stay put.
Like I've been saying all week, even though I've been given different interpretations, it all leads to the same thing. Rather than do something half-heartedly, just do not do it at all. It's either you're giving it your 100 or you're not doing it. You're not giving it anything. So in any aspect of life, whatever it is that you're involving yourself in, give it your best or do not involve yourself in it at all.
Well, that is awesome. So whatever it is you're doing, you either give it your 100 or not. What I would like to say is there's this thing that we usually say. If you're going to do something, go big or go home. You go big or you go home. That is it. So if you know I'm aiming to be able to get this, aim for the stars. Shoot for the stars. Yeah, maybe you might not hit 100%, but at least the fact that you put in that effort and then you did your homework, you might come up with an 80, close to 100. It's better than not putting in the effort at all or just wanting to do things haphazardly or anyway. So go big or go home. You can find more of the proverb of the week on africaglobalradio.com. And you just be sure to check it out. I know some of you, we keep saying, go to the website, but seriously, go to the website. It's a place for so much resource, and you get to see a lot and learn a lot and discover a lot about our beautiful Africa. Well, now we take our daily fix for today.
Daily Fix. Daily Fix. Daily Fix.
Daily fix.
So daily fixes are actually a daily dose of Vim that is actually posted on africaglobalradio.com, and this is actually brought to us by Richard Akita. He's a personal development coach and an author. Also, he has daily gems, and there's an extra dose of brain food that can only make your life more meaningful. And for today's daily fix, recognizing what's not working in your life can be painful. Yet, it's the key to shaping the life you want. Recognizing what's not working in your life can be painful, yet it's the key to shaping the life you want. Well, I wanna look at the fact that nobody wants a negative in the first place. Nobody likes a negative, and nobody likes to wake up and come to a realization that, okay, this thing that I've been putting effort in, this thing that I've been doing is actually not working. It's not making life any easier or any better for me. Everybody wants to wake up to the positive side of things and see the brighter side of things. So recognizing the fact that somebody or something or a specific aspect of your life is not really working. When I use the word term working here, I mean it's not being productive, it's not giving you results or pushing you up to any other level. It's not the best thing you want to wake up to. But that realization, that recognition is what you need to shape your life. That is like the key for you to shape your life. So you realize this is not working. Now, what next? It brings you up to wake up, sit up, and start to look at what would work, what you could do that could bring a solution to the problem you're currently facing. Mami Abba, what do you think?
I agree with you, and I would like to add an example. Sometimes you're in certain situations, right? And then you know this is not working out. But instead of letting go, you want to hold on because you still have the hope that it will work out. A perfect example will be relationships. Let's say you're with somebody and then there's constant fights, you're always disagreeing, you don't see eye to eye on things, your communication is a mess. Clearly, you're seeing signs that the relationship you're having with whoever it is not working out. But being human, we cling to the hope. We hold on to the hope that, oh, things will change, oh, they will change, oh, get better, rather than letting go. Forgetting that if we let go, it creates the opportunity for us to even meet someone who would give us something better than what we had.
That is very true, and that's actually a great example. I mean, I know there are a lot of people out there who are listening, and some of them are stuck in situations like this.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
It's not the best. I mean, sometimes you're so like you actually know in your heart of hearts this is not working out, and this will most definitely end in tears. But then you're just looking at like, what if I leave? Where am I going to from here? Forgetting that you could leave and then meet better or meet best.
Well, that is also true. So we're just saying, let go of the dead weight, and then just step into the open.
Basically, if it's not working out, then if it's not working out now, it's actually just a little of those ones that are not working out now that get better. But most do not. They eventually end up failing.
Okay.
So if it's not working out and you've tried to fix it and it's not working out, just let it go.
Okay, thank you, Mami. But you heard her say it herself. Let it go if it's not working out.
Africa, ẹ̀yin ìyá.
Africa ń bọ̀. Èyí ni asọ̀rọ̀mágbèsì tó wá láti Áfíríkà fún orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé. This is Africa Global Radio.
So now, talking about Reggie Rockstone, he will be live on At Africa Show tomorrow, the 25th of July, 2020, right here on Africa Global Radio with Benjamin Akakpo from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Make a date. Like when I say make a date, I mean like book it in your calendar right now. Those of you using iPhones, you know the iPhone family, the saved iPhone families, just go to Siri and just say, Siri, make a date. Tomorrow, the grandpapa, the godfather of hip life, is live on Arts Africa Show, the Arts Africa Show on Africa Global Radio with Benjamin Akakpo, 12 to 1:30 p.m. Just make a date, set an alarm, beep, 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 set it like 30 minutes before time so it reminds you so you don't miss it. Because when I say the godfather of hip life, I'm talking about Reggie Rockstone, and he is live right here tomorrow in person. When we say miss it, miss out, we mean it. Now we'll go for AGR Good News. And you know, when we say AGR Good News, we're looking at stories that actually bring out Africa, bring out the positive, the good things, the fact that Africa has been put out in the wrong light and people have the wrong image about Africa out there. We're here to make that image. We're setting the picture straight and setting the record right. So we're going to take AGR Good News for today.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Now, we'll start with the first AGR good news story, and this is an important one looking at the current time in which we find ourselves. So, basically, why is cybersecurity so critical for the healthcare industry? Why is cybersecurity so critical for the healthcare industry? So, healthcare institutions, particularly hospitals, have long been a tempting target for cyber criminals. These institutions hold massive amounts of extremely sensitive and personal data that can be exploited in various cyber attacks. Moreover, with healthcare receiving more funding and grants due to COVID-19, it's become a perceived easy target. Like the fact that every day we wake up, we hear that this country has received this, a grant has been donated to this healthcare facility, this healthcare is receiving this because of the COVID-19. Now we have cyber criminals who's going to sit back, target you, and then they have access to very sensitive information. Because more like if you go to a hospital, you go there to show your weaknesses. You go there, okay, you're sick with this, you're sick with that. If someone gets hold of that information, the cyber criminals can use it to their advantage. So let's just take a look at this whole thing critically. The reality is that within healthcare's IT systems, like critical patient information such as ID numbers, credit card and banking details, and other highly sensitive data such as the patient's HIV status that can be used to cause considerable damage. Imagine someone texting you that they know you're HIV positive, and because of that, if you don't pay them a certain amount of money, they intend to disclose it to the world or to the people around you. And you haven't taken so much precaution to keep this information a secret, and someone just wants to use a matter of minutes to just destroy all that hard work because they want your money. So you'd have to give in and then send them the money. So now we see how critical it is for healthcare facilities to put a lot of effort when it comes to cybersecurity on their databases. So an ID number alone can fetch quite a price on the black market, which is why the global healthcare system must stay extra vigilant and mitigate any damage and potential liability. Currently, one of the most popular forms of cyber attack exploitation is blackmail. Unlike ransomware, where cyber criminals can hold company to data ransom with encrypted malware, they now simply gain access to sensitive data and threaten to expose it unless a specified amount is paid. Basically what I just explained to you. And healthcare institutions have no choice but to pay the blackmailed amount, as exposing sensitive patient information can be disastrous to the individuals in question and overall patient confidentiality. So now in this case, they're targeting two: you, the patient, and then also the healthcare facility. Because if the healthcare's database is hacked into, and I am a patient there, and I find out you were not actually prudent enough to be able to keep safe sensitive information relating to me, how am I going to feel about the healthcare? And just imagine the damage it could do to their reputation if such a thing happens. So you see, they target two: the healthcare institutions and then the individuals whose sensitive information is in the healthcare systems. So for one, healthcare organizations need to reinforce best practices in data protection, especially as it relates to the privacy and security of critical patient data. Security awareness is also key. Cyber criminals target people, not only systems. Educating all staff on the value of security is vital, is really, really vital. With technology becoming more prevalent in everyday healthcare, it is important that data protection becomes a fundamental component of modern day medical practice. A fundamental component of modern day medical practice. Similarly, as cloud adopting accelerates across healthcare, efficient planning and controls must be put in place to mitigate vulnerabilities. Access to information from patients, caregivers, insurance agencies, and other stakeholders must be seamless and, importantly, secure. Lastly, and most importantly, Healthcare institutions must partner with security solution providers that provide expert services such as audits and solutions that will ensure organizations remain secure and resilient against any potential threats while focusing on its core competency. You heard it right. You have to make sure that you keep your people safe. Keep their data, keep their information, keep everything that is related to them safe to ensure that there is nothing going wrong. Because if you're a healthcare institution and let's say you have an important, I wouldn't want to say member of parliament, you have an important figure or personality who frequents your healthcare institution and they come there every day, and this person has a certain condition that is known only to you because you're their healthcare provider, you're the one who takes care of their health, and then someone gets hold of this and decides to use it against them. Imagine the person's state, how the person would react, how the person would feel, because the person in the first place, just take into consideration his figure, his personality out there. And then the world has to come out and find out what is his personal business, what is wrong with him. And they don't get to find out from him, but they have to find out through somebody who has no business going into that person's business. First, you have tarnished your image. You have put your reputation at stake, and as the healthcare institution, it will be difficult for you to actually regain the trust of your patients because you've put yourself in a very sensitive spot. It means that your security systems are not working. It means that cyber criminals can sit at home and hack into your database, get access to people's sensitive information, things they wouldn't want other people to know that's happening to them, and then they will put it out there. Or worse off, they would actually use it to drain money out of them. That isn't a position in which anybody wants to put themselves into. So please, 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 please. I know we say Africa, internet connectivity, Africa, but Africa has shacks. When we use the word shack here in our base Ghana, it means very smart, highly intelligent people. We have IT personality, we have we have technicians that do a lot of things, just that they are not being put out there and people don't know about them. So if you're a hospital and you're listening, if you're an institution or if you work in one, do well to inform your authorities. Just bring their attention to this issue because most often we tend to overlook it. In Africa, it's not really a big deal. I mean, how many people are going to really sit down and start trying to hack into a hospital's database? What are they going to use it for? It's something that doesn't cross our mind on a daily basis, but it's something that is happening out there and it's something we have to check. So looking at that, please, please, please ensure if you know you don't have an IT department, try and set up one. If you don't have people who are on the watch for these things day in, day out, make sure you find people who will be looking at such information, who will be doing such things every day, so that you'll be able to not find yourself in a place where your sensitive information or sensitive information for your patients is actually sent in the wrong place. This is something we're actually trying to avoid every time over here. So this is actually our HR good news for today. I just hope you take it serious. I hope you'd actually look up onto it very well and make efforts towards it. It's very serious and it's something that is happening out there. I felt it's something we need to draw your attention to for today.
Hi, I'm Trisha.
Hi, I'm Ivan. We love Africa Global Radio.
Yes, Elevate. That was by Emmanuel Kwesi Danso Arthur Jr., the Ghanaian rapper popularly known as Kwesi Arthur. Now let's head over for the newspaper headlines across Africa.
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 Today, we're actually going to 3 different places like we always do. And you may be wondering, okay, where are we going? Today, we're looking at Equatorial Guinea. We're looking at the Republic of Congo and South Africa. So in Equatorial Guinea, we'll actually be reading from the Diaro Rombe newspaper. The Diaro Rombe newspaper. And the headlines read, Local content. Construction of Allen gas pipeline will work more than 200 foreigners. So the distrust of local businesses with the commitment of the Ministry of Mines and Hydrocarbons. At Gabriel Mbega Obiang Lina's press conference in the auditorium of the Ministry of Mines and Hydrocarbons on the occasion of the 5th GEFC Gas Summit in November 2019, he noted that all contracts in the oil sector have to go through a public tender, ensuring the concurrence of local companies in accordance with the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. With these statements, Mbega Obiang sought unsuccessfully to appease the harsh criticism of local operators reporting discriminatory treatment, influence trafficking, corruption, secrecy, and a lack of transparency in the award of oil subcontracts for the benefit of Equatorial Guineans who are not from their nearest environment. The Hydrocarbons Act of the Malabo regime provides that oil companies have an obligation to employ only citizens of Equatorial Guinea in all positions and functions, except in circumstances where no citizens of Equatorial Guinea are available with the required conditions and experience. Instead of implementing programs to enhance the development of its capabilities, the Minister of Mines, under the pretext of providing the opportunity for the Malabo regime to remain an alleged global reference in the hydrocarbon sector, enacted a new ministerial order in which it limits to 3 years the period during which companies can employ foreign labor and expatriates in the oil and gas industry of Equatorial Guinea, a measure that, according to the minister, will ensure the creation of local employment and improve the capacity of local services. Now, in November 2019, the Minister of Mines and Hydrocarbons, Gabriel M. Obiang Lima, approved the construction of a 70-kilometer underwater gas that will link the Gas Island platform with the Punta Europa Petrochemical Center, worth $100 million. The Island Gas Unit is operated by the U.S. subsidiary Noble Energy EG Limited and registered in the Cayman Island tax haven. The contract was awarded to the engineering and drilling company Saipem SPA, a subsidiary of the Italian energy company ENI. In 2018, Italian justice convicted Saipem of international corruption committed in Algeria between 2008 and 2011 and imposed the immediate confiscation of 197 million euros. Saipem was convicted of committing bribes between 2007 and 2011 in order to be awarded 8 operating contracts in Algeria worth $11 billion. Now, this will not be the first time Saipem has been awarded operation in Equatorial Guinea. In 2001, he was hired by the French oil company Total Final Elf, and in 2019, they were working on 2 oil well drilling projects of U.S. oil company Noble Energy Equatorial Guinea Limited. The minister guaranteed that the contract to be overseen by department will financially benefit local businesses. However, as part of this agreement signed between oil companies with the Equatorial Guinean authorities in compliance with the local content regulation, the participation of Equatorial Guinean natural persons or companies exclusively by nationals whose participation shall not be less than 35% must be in place. Well, that is a story coming from the Diaro Rombe. It's never really a pleasant thing when you have foreigners getting the jobs and the locals of the country not getting the job. It becomes a problem because you go there and you realize that there are locals who are well qualified and experienced for the jobs, but the job is actually offered, the contracts are offered to foreign companies who then tend to take the money out of the country. So we believe that the Minister of Mines and Hydrocarbons will sit with his people and be able to address this issue. Now, moving on, we're moving all the way to the Republic of Congo, and we're reading from the Actualite newspaper. The Actualite newspaper. And we have the headline saying, Court of Appeal refers Kamehe case to 7th August. Court of Appeal refers Kamehe case to 7th August. So the first hearing of Vital Kamehe's appeal trial lasted only a few minutes. the Kinshasa Gombe Court of Appeal decided to postpone the case until 7th August. She explains her decision by the need to regularize the referral. As a reminder, the chief of staff of Felix Tshisekedi was sentenced on June 20th to 20 years of hard labor, in addition to ancillary sentences, including the prohibition of access to any public office for the 10 years following the end of his sentence of deprivation of liberty. His lawyers had appealed. Pierre-Olivier Sur, a member of the Vital Kamehes collective of lawyers, said that his client would exercise all possible remedies in the Republic of Congo before the African Regional Court and before the United Nations, which he has already seized. And that is the story coming from the Actualite newspaper when it comes to court proceedings and court hearings on issues of corruption, especially in relation to persons in office. Well, it's something we want to believe that the justice should take its course. And now we're finally going to South Africa. We're going to South Africa and we're reading from the Daily Sun newspaper. The Daily Sun newspaper. And we have the headline saying, "Armed gang arrested." Armed gang arrested. Now, this is good news. It's always good news when the bad guys are caught, So, a gang armed with guns and an AK-47 rifle has been arrested. They were arrested during Operation Okai Maloa and were among the 670 suspects who were arrested during the operation. The Gauteng Corps spokeswoman, Brigadier Mathapelo Peters, said the operations across the province resulted in the arrest of more than 670 suspects for crimes ranging from rape, armed robbery, murder, attempted murder, business robbery, assault, theft of motor vehicle, possession of drugs, and possession of unlicensed firearm. At One Block Road in Soweto, focusing on the proliferation of illegal firearms, drugs and stolen vehicles, police found 3 pistols, an AK-47 rifle and an ammunition of different caliber after stopping and searching a KwaZulu-Natal registered vehicle with 5 men. This was said by Peters. She also stated that the police arrested a business robbery suspect and found on him a pistol with a loaded magazine. Investigations are underway to establish if these suspects and the illegal firearms could be linked to previous serious and violent crimes, she said. Now, that is the story coming from the Daily Sun in South Africa, and that brings us to the end of headlines across Africa. But stay tuned, we're actually moving straight on to what is trending, where we let you know what is actually happening in the world of social media, mainly from Twitter.
What's trending? What's trending? What is trending?
What's trending?
So, like I said earlier, we have hashtag Henderson trending, hashtag Henderson is trending, and hashtag mood swings. So let's start with mood swings. So people are wondering mood swings. I remember this morning when I told mommy that mood swings, she was like, mood swings, it's like the normal mood swings we know. And I was like, I actually have no idea. So later on I went to find out and I realized that the mood swings trending is actually a new album that was released by Edem. Aigbe Edem, that's what we call him. He's a rapper, a singer in our base Ghana here. His name is Aigbe Edem, but he's on Twitter, he's at I am Edem. So he's released a new album titled Mood Swings, and people are going crazy over the song. So a couple of songs on the album, we have Love You featuring Daco Vibes and Kelvin Boy. We have Bo. We have Money, we have Efo Kojo, we have In Ghana featuring Efia from our base Ghana here, and we have Chidi. People are already loving some of the songs on the album. You can actually check it out. You go on Apple Music, you go to Spotify, the songs are already out there. You can check out the album and you know the year. There's a reason why people are going crazy over the Mood Swing album that at I Am Edem has released. And now we have hashtag Henderson. If you're a football fan, you know what this means. So Liverpool's captain Jordan Henderson has won the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year award. He's won the Footballer of the Year award. So big ups to Jordan Henderson wherever you are. I mean, this year has been a great year. We've seen a change in leadership skills. There's been so much you've been through, but then I mean, you've kept your tact, you've stayed on top. And to add up to the fact that you recently floored Chelsea 5-3, I mean, you guys are doing great. So big ups to you for winning the Footballer of the Year award from the Football Writers Association. And that is all we have for you for What is Trending.
Hey, this is Kent Johnson.
And this is Eric Martin, and we are Black and Abroad.
And we want to make sure that you know to check out Africa Global Radio.
Okay, so moving on, now we're going to COVID-19 figures. And yes, every time we tell you, we let you know what's happening. So we're going to take COVID-19 diaries, COVID-19 figures around the world.
COVID-19 diaries. COVID-19 diaries.
COVID-19 diary.
So we have the global figure, the current global figure being at 15,684,789. 15,684,789. That's the total number of COVID-19 cases we have globally. And out of that figure, we have 9,569,189 people having recovered from the COVID-19 globally. And also, we have 637,225 people having passed on from the COVID-19 globally. Condolences to the families, to those who have lost loved ones, friends, and anybody you know in this COVID-19 period due to the virus. Now let's go for COVID-19 figures across Africa.
COVID-19 Africa. COVID-19 Africa. Daily updates.
So the figures for Africa, now the total number of cases across Africa for COVID-19, we have 793,934. 793,934 people across Africa have contracted the COVID-19 virus. And out of that, we have 451,739 people across Africa who have recovered from the COVID-19. And in Africa, we've lost 16,781 people to the COVID-19 virus. Once again, our condolences to anybody, to families, to friends, anybody who has lost anyone to this COVID-19 virus. The country in Africa with the highest COVID-19 case still is South Africa. I mean, this is a disturbing fact, but yes, South Africa currently has 408,052 cases of COVID-19. 408,052 cases of COVID-19. The country in Africa with the least recorded cases of COVID-19 is Western Sahara, with only 10 cases. 10 cases of COVID-19. Now, unfortunately, the country in Africa with the most fatalities is still South Africa, having lost 6,093 people to COVID-19. Our condolences to the family. This, as much as I'm reading it just like that, it is a disturbing reality on the ground. And we want to say, our condolences to everybody out there who's lost someone to COVID-19. I just want to use this to also let you know that keep safe. Sometimes it's hard to try and observe all the safety precautions, but this should be a wake-up call. This should let you know that this thing is real. It really is happening out there, and people are losing their lives, families, friends. It's changing the scope of things for other people. So keep yourself safe, even if not for you, for those you love. Well, that is the COVID-19 updates from Africa, and now we'll take our big question for the week.
The big question.
The big question.
The big question. So we've actually been looking at one big question for this week, and you know what to do. But before, let me tell you what the big question is. Is it safe for schools to reopen in this pandemic? Is it safe for schools to reopen in this pandemic? You can send your answers to our Facebook at Africa Global Radio. You can also send it to our Twitter and Instagram at AF Global Radio. That's AF Global Radio. You can also send your answers to us via WhatsApp on +233 20 706 4680. +233 20 706 4680.
Hi, I am Kasuki. You're listening to Africa Global Radio.
I Gotta Take Care of You. Well, that was by Adina featuring Stoneboy. I'll take care of you. Mami Aba, I'll take care of you.
No, you cannot.
Oh, okay. Why?
Can you take care of me?
That's okay. That is a big question. Can I take care of you? It actually boils down to what constitutes taking care of you.
Can you take care of my needs?
What needs are we looking? It's not food. It's not. I mean, I gave you cocoa. I give you rice in the afternoon. I give you.
Do I look like food are the only needs I have?
Okay, we get you clothes, shoes. Yeah,
and you can get me all of those things. I need a new laptop. I need a new phone. I need TV. I need an air conditioning. I need like $1,000 in my account. Yeah. I mean, I know. I
okay.
You see, Seth is laughing at you.
Yeah, basically, because me myself, I'm just. You need all that.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Where am I going?
Basically, with all that.
I need them. Needs are things people actually need to do something. You cannot take care of me, please.
Right. So you had it right. I definitely cannot take care of all those needs. Thank you for letting me know, because I so cannot take care of all those needs. But Adina is saying yes. Adina and Stoneboy are saying they'll take care of each other. So if you have someone you can take care of out there, then sure to do that. You know, it doesn't hurt to be able to extend a helping hand to somebody when you see they need it. So now we'll go to Today We Remember, where we tell you things that have happened today in history. You know, the times that some of us were not here, some of us were not being born by that time, but yeah, you get to know what happened today in history. So now, Today We Remember.
Today we remember. Today we remember. Today we remember.
So, today we remember Apollo 11 safely returns to Earth. I don't know how many of you know Apollo 11, but I mean, today we're remembering Apollo 11, so I'm going to tell you about Apollo 11. At exactly 12:51 Eastern Daylight Time on July 24th, 1969, Apollo 11, the U.S. spacecraft that had taken the first astronauts to the surface of the moon, safely returned to Earth. Now, on July 16th, 1969, the world watched as Apollo 11 took off from Kennedy Space Center with astronauts Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin Jr., and Michael Collins aboard. After traveling 240,000 miles in 76 hours, Apollo 11 entered into a lunar orbit on July 19th, the next day. So the next day at 1:46 p.m., the lunar model Eagle, manned by astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin, separated from the command module, where a third astronaut, that is Michael Collins, remained. So he stayed back in the command module. 2 hours later, the Eagle began its descent to the lunar surface, and at 4:18 p.m., the craft touched down on the southwestern edge of the moon, the Sea of Tranquility. Now, I know this is actually an interesting thing, but among the items that were left on the surface of a moon, you know, because after they touched down, they left a couple of things, a flag and some other things. Imagine being the first man to land on, just imagine landing on the moon. Just imagine how it feels to put your foot on the moon. So among some of the things they left on the surface of the moon was a plaque that read, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot on the moon, July 1969 AD. We came in peace for all mankind." At 5:35 p.m., Armstrong and Aldrin successfully docked and rejoined Collins. And at 12:56 a.m. on July 22nd, Apollo 11 began its journey home, safely splashing down in the Pacific Ocean at 12:51 p.m. on July 24th, which is today. I don't know how it feels to be in, a space shuttle. I was asking Mamiaba if she would have loved to go on that trip if she was, present then. And she was telling me no, she was not going to go. And I'm just wondering why she wasn't going to go. But I would have loved to try. I really would have loved to try that. I would have loved to try it. Go on the moon. Just imagine.
Why?
You're making history and you're discovering something new other than what you already know. You're stepping foot on the moon, the lunar orbit, what you always see from here, just giving bright light up there.
But I would rather be in a place where I'm safe. And there's a saying that says it's safer on the ground. So I'd rather be on the ground.
So you'd be
than
safer
in a space I cannot control.
So you rather stay planted?
I have curiosities and I have crazy tendencies, but it hasn't reached there. It hasn't reached going to space.
None of them have gotten to go into space, have they?
No.
So all the ones you have, they basically are just, let's stay here.
Based on land, yes.
Based on land, I see. Well, that is Mamiaba saying her curiosities are based on land. None of them is actually asking her to fly into space. I wouldn't say I have curiosities, but I would have loved to just, go there, see how it feels like to be in space. And then when you just drop a pencil, it stays where it is. That would be like a sight to behold. And see how I just take steps in mid-air, and it's like I'm doing a slow motion. Well, that is what happened. Apollo 11 landed safely back, and that was for today. We remember. Now we'll go to Did You Know, where we tell you interesting facts that you had no idea about.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
When I actually saw this myself today, I was a bit like, really? But yeah, it's something that is happening. So many old West African families have private library collections that go back hundreds of years. Like when we say hundreds, we mean hundreds of years. Now, the Mauritanian cities of Chinguetti and Udain have a total of 3,450 handwritten medieval books. That's a lot. 3,450 handwritten medieval books. If you have no idea, I'm telling you this. And this is right here from Africa. Now, there may be another 6,000 books still surviving in the other city of Walata. And some of these books date back to the 8th century AD. There are 11,000 books in private collections in Niger. And finally, in Timbuktu, Mali, there are about 700,000 surviving books. Whoever said Africans didn't like writing or reading or keeping records, archiving, making notes, whoever said that, come to Africa. Go look at this 700,000 surviving books in Timbuktu. Go to Walata and then just check back at the 6,000 books and go to Chinguete and Udain and have a look at the total of 3,450 handwritten. Just take note, they were not typed. So you say the process was easy. It was handwritten. And these are all records that have been kept safe. We had families that had private library collections, and these dates way back, centuries back, even before, before most of us were actually born. And this is all in Africa. Africa, our home. Africa has its history, and it's so much about time that we bring our history out there and tell our story our way instead of having other people tell the story for us.
Charlie, what happened? You are tuned to Africa Global Radio. My name is Manifest from Accra, Ghana. Bless up.
Okay, so we actually are supposed to be looking at our African champion, right about now, which we will do in a minute. But before we do that, this is a very important story that I'd like us to take a look at. It's actually in relation to COVID-19. And this is basically from South Africa. It's actually coming right about from South Africa, and it's something we actually need to look at. I think it's important, and I feel that other African countries could also look up to it and then pick an example out of it. So South Africa to close schools again over coronavirus surge. Now, if you listen, South Africa to close schools again simply means that they have done it before and they are redoing it again. The country has recorded over 400,000 coronavirus cases, the fifth highest in the world. And it has more than 6,000 deaths. This is a serious issue, like I said earlier. Now, South Africa's public schools will close again for a month from Monday to limit the spread of the novel coronavirus as the country grapples with surging infections. Those are said by the president, Cyril Ramaphosa. The country now has recorded 408,052 coronavirus cases, making it the fifth highest in the world, and it has more than 6,000 people having died from the virus. Rising infections have caused concern among teaching staff, with unions calling on the government to revoke its decision to reopen schools for certain grades in June. Cabinet has decided today that all public schools should take a break for the next 4 weeks, Ramaphosa said on Thursday during an address to the nation, adding that the academic year that is due to end in December will be extended. Now, schools will be closed from the 27th of July this month and are provisionally scheduled to reopen on August 24th. We have taken a deliberately cautious approach to keep schools closed during a period when the country is expected to experience its greatest increase in infections. This was said by the president, Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, this is a serious issue, and I think it's a wise decision, a wise step that South Africa is taking to be able to reclose its schools. It's something that it should have looked at. It's something that it should have actually done, and I'm happy. The president has seen the need, the importance of securing the lives, saving the lives of the peoples, the students, of the families in South Africa before looking to continuity when it comes to education, because the infection keeps rising. So that was the story I wanted us to look at, and I believe that other African countries could also look at this story and be able to see the need to close, because I don't know, sometimes we feel like unless we reach the peak before we have to really shut down everything, but sometimes it's best and wise. A stitch in time saves 9, so it's best and wise to cap the spread before it blows out of hand. Now we're moving on to look at our African champion for today.
African champions.
African champion.
African champions.
African champions.
So African champion today is actually a Liberian activist, Lema Gbowie. Lema Gbowie. So Lema Roberta Gbowie, born in 1972 in Liberia, is a peace activist known for rallying women to pressure leaders into ending Liberia's civil war. She was one of the 3 recipients alongside Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Tawakkul Karman of the 2011 Nobel Peace Prize for their non-violent efforts to further the safety and rights of women and their participation in the peace-building processes. So Gbowie graduated from high school at the age of 17 with plans to continue her education. Her plans, however, were interrupted when Liberia became engulfed in civil war that began in 1989. She and her family were forced to flee from their home in the Liberian capital of Monrovia and eventually escaped to a refugee camp in Ghana. She later returned to Liberia and trained as a trauma counselor, working with former child soldiers who fought in Liberia's civil war. Gbowie joined the Women in Peace Building Network, WIPNet, and quickly became a leader within the organization. Moved to action by the pain and the suffering she had witnessed, Gbowie mobilized women of various ethnic and religious backgrounds to protest against Liberia's ongoing conflict. The WIPNet-led group, which eventually became known as the Liberian Mass Action for Peace, demonstrated against the war by fasting, praying, and picketing at markets and in front of government buildings. Dressed in white and present in great numbers day after day, the women were difficult to ignore. Bowie was eventually granted a meeting with Liberia's president, Charles Taylor, and pressed for peace. In 2003, Taylor and Liberia's opposing factions attended peace talks in Ghana that were organized by international parties in an attempt to bring an end to the Liberian conflict. Bowie followed the Liberian leaders to Ghana, where she led a group of hundreds of women in surrounding the meeting place. They refused to let Taylor and the other leaders leave until an agreement was reached. Well, after the war, Bowie continued to advocate for peace and the empowerment of women. She served as a commissioner on Liberia's Truth and Reconciliation Commission from 2004 to 2005. And in 2006, she was one of the founders of the Women, Peace and Security Network Africa, WISPEN Africa, an organization active in several Western African states that encouraged the involvement of women in peace, security, and governance issues. She was named executive director of the WISPEN Africa the next year, and also in 2007, she received a master's degree in conflict transformation from Eastern Mennonite University in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And that was our African champion for today.
You be champion!
So this for you, Leela Bowie, you have done a great deed, especially when it comes to peace building, fighting, and the most important thing, non-violence.
You are an African champion.
Hi, I'm Trisha.
Hi, I'm Ivan. We love Africa Global Radio.
Yes, we're about to talk about movies, Netflix, Africa. Okay, everybody loves Netflix. Netflix and chill. Yes, basically it's something that people say and people do. Especially in this time, I know those of you who are not having to go to work and are stuck home are using Netflix as a way to just take your mind off the boredom, the stress, and all the issues that come with being stuck in the house. So, Mami Abba, today we're looking at Netflix, we're looking at movies, but one of the most important ones that I want us to start with first is a movie titled Nimbe. I know you've heard of Nimbe. You know of Nimbe. And last week on Arts Africa, we had the opportunity to actually talk to one of the brains behind Nimbe. He was on the Arts Africa show, and it's such an interesting thing that you get to talk to such great brains from Africa here on the Arts Africa show. And Nimbe is something that are you on Netflix, Ma'am? Please let me ask you first.
Are you asking if I have an account?
Yeah, do you have a Netflix account?
No, I don't.
Okay, fine. But you've had access to the Netflix interface.
Oh yes, I've used it to watch a couple of movies, so I know about it.
Okay, that's a good place to start. So you know about it. Well, yesterday, my little sister, I actually mentioned Nimbe, and then she just was like, "Oh, it's coming tomorrow," and I just tend to look at her. I'm like, well, I was just wondering, how did she even get to see that, or how did she get to know that? But one thing I've realized is that we have a lot of African movies on Netflix, and that is a good thing. That is a great thing. We tend to be able to tell the African narrative, the African style, the African way of telling stories. We get to put it out there so that the global world will be able to interact and have access and get to see the diverse narratives that we have here on the African continent through our entertaining way, our entertaining way, which is like the movies. I've watched a couple of movies on it. You remember the Sugar Rush you mentioned?
Yeah, I still haven't finished watching that.
Are you're joking, right?
No, I'm not. I'm actually serious.
You haven't finished the Sugar Rush?
No.
Okay, so which African movie on Netflix have you finished?
Before I get into that, I'd like to say Netflix is doing good by the continent, because there have been lots of African movies that have been put on the Netflix streaming platform. Seth, leave me alone. There's been lots of movies that have been put on the Netflix streaming platform, and even last May, during the Africa month, Netflix actually made a collection, the Made in Africa collection, that curated a list of African series, films, and documentaries to celebrate the African month and to demonstrate Netflix's commitment to Africa and the African creative community. So now to the question you've asked, I've actually watched a couple of African movies on Netflix. I've watched Moms at War. I've watched Potato Potato.
It's potato, potato.
Potato Potato.
Yeah.
Potato Potato.
They're trying to say there are different ways of pronouncing, but the same meaning.
Okay. So I've watched that. And I know the wedding party is on there, even though I watched it before it was added on there. And then I've watched Blood and Water. So Potato Potato is a collaboration between Ghana and Nigeria. And then I was saying I've watched this one as well. Sugar Rush is from Nigeria. I haven't finished watching that. And then I've watched Blood and Water. That is actually a South African original series that has been put on Netflix.
So it's actually a South African movie that's been put on Netflix.
It's a series. It's
Okay.
actually a series. There's been the first season. I think the second season is now being shot. So I've watched that as well. And I've watched Blood Diamond. I know most of us have watched Blood Diamond. But Blood Diamond has been put on Netflix as well. Seth, have you? Have you watched? You haven't watched Blood Diamond? You should watch it. It's actually a great movie. So yeah, there are lots of movies from the continent that have been added to the Netflix streaming platform. There's Jerusalema, there's King of Boys, there's Lionheart, Mokalik. Most of the movies are movies I've actually talked about in the What's On and the What's New segment on the show. So there's Mokalik, there's Choti, there's The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, which is actually based on a true life story, and there's Azali, there's Holiday in the Wind, the Red Sea Diving Resorts from Namibia and South Africa, there's Troy, Fall of a City, there's Beast of No Nation, which is from our base Ghana, there's The Ivory Game from, and then the Oscar nominated Virunga. There's also Keteke from our base Ghana. There's this one. What's the name of this movie? Saiche Gang, also from our base Ghana. And then there's this other one as well. This one that Ajitanan is in, also from our base Ghana, and that is also on the Netflix streaming platform.
Well, that's great. But one thing I actually want us to take note of is actually the Nimbe. We got the chance to Benjamin Akapo on the Arts Africa show on our Africa Global Radio on Saturday, which was last week, Saturday, 18th July. Had the opportunity to interact with the film producer of Nimbe, Sheun Dania. Yeah, so Sheun Dania was live in our studios last week. Now, Nimbe is actually a movie that has been officially, it was one of the official selection for the Lake International Pan-African Film Festival 2019. It was also a finalist for the UK Nollywood Film Festival 2019. And funny enough, it was, okay, not funny enough, but interestingly, it was a winner for the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival 2019 and also an official selection for Real Time International Film Festival 2019. So you can see all these should I say accolades, all these great sweeping awards, these great selections that Nimbe has been put under. Now this tells you that a lot comes from Africa. When it comes to Africans telling a story, it's done in the African way, in a different and diverse narrative. We look at the issues, and one thing I love is that most of these movies pick the issues on the ground, the situations that are happening, the current happenings in our day-to-day lives, and then they're able to dramatize it in a way that entertains you, but still gets you to see the picture of what is really happening in the continent, what is happening in the day-to-day lives of some of these people. And some of them just get you to laugh. I've watched movies that have just cracked me up all the way, and they are good for releasing
There's
stress.
this one. There's Moms at War. I don't know if you've watched that.
No, my little stars mentioned that.
Moms at War is nice. It's actually a drama between two women, two mothers whose children are competing for the same scholarship spot in a school. So that is actually a nice movie. It's nice and it's funny as well.
Okay, so if you're there and you've not watched Moms at War, please, please. I'm actually also going to make the commitment. I'm also going to watch Mami, but please finish your Sugar Rush.
It's not just Moms at War. Just if you're on Netflix and you haven't watched any of the movies from the continent that have been added to the streaming platform, then I don't know what you're waiting for, cause a lot of creative content from the continent have been added to the movie streaming platform.
So, like, you had it right. Please get those of you have it on your phones, PCs, TV screens. Just get there, and when you go, don't just go straight to the African category. Look for any of the movie. South Africa added a movie. I saw a movie from South Africa on I think I saw it somewhere this week. It's one of the movies that was trending one of the days. I'll check the title out again. But they are quite good stories. We have Love is War. It's Love is War, and they were quite a great selection
Love
of them.
is War. Is it the one between the politician and his wife?
Yes, the politician and the husband. Both of them later became
Both
politicians.
of them are actually politicians.
Yes.
And then they're for two parties.
For two different parties. Yes, they were pit against each other.
About it. I think I
Yes.
talked about it when we were streaming from home, when we were doing the Africa Daily Show from home edition.
Yes. But it's actually a movie you should watch. You'd love. And one thing I love about African, when it comes to the African movies, is that there's always a moral lesson to pick at the end of the day. There's always a value, a life-adding value story that is left, a note that you can mentally pick and be like, okay, we can learn from this, we can learn from that. And they are very practical.
I think that comes from our storytelling ways. Because like growing up, Tales by the Fireside,
yes,
all those things, like they tell you to entertain you, but then at the end they give you an advice that
Precisely.
this is the reason why. Sometimes they even link it to life events, like this is the reason why this happened. This is the reason why the crab does not have a head. This is the reason why the tortoise shell is hard, and all of that.
Yeah, it's also great. So if you're out there and you haven't just taken the time, you probably don't know what it is like. It's an amazing and thrilling experience. Just go on, look for an African movie. Just clear your head of any thoughts and just watch it. Enjoy the ride. Let yourself flow with it, and then you will enjoy. You can also share with us some of your favorite African movies that you have watched on Netflix. I mean, just send us your favorite list. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite African movie on Netflix? You can just let us know that as well. Well, Mami, but thank you so much. You can also mention,
But before we go, I've added. We've talked so much about movies on the show, like in the weeks that since we started.
What's on and what's
so
new.
if you're looking for titles for movies to watch on Netflix, you can go to africaglobalradio.com, search in the creative arts section under films, and you can find a list of movies that you can from the African continent that you can watch on Netflix.
Yeah, so don't forget to go on to the
www.africaglobalradio.com,
Yes.
the creative arts section, and find them for yourself.
And you just sit back, get a popcorn. Or someone said small chops. He doesn't know why they always have to get popcorn, so he suggested small chops.
I saw that. Could do chips, meat pie,
spring rolls,
bread and salad.
Okay, that's serious.
Samosa.
Bread and eggs. Okay. Juice. Just cross your legs.
Set
relax.
rice and stew.
No, okay, set. That is not set. Please, that's not a snack. You literally will have the person sleeping before the movie is even
Set rice
end.
and stew.
It's not a snack.
The small chop category.
It's not snacks or small chop. Okay.
That's your small chop.
Well, thank you so much, Mami Abba. Thank you so much. And like you had it right, please go www.africaglobalradio.com, the creative arts section. Pick a title, go there and watch it. You can also give us your feedback, your review of the movie. Would love to hear from you.
Hi, I'm Trisha.
Hi, I'm Ivan. We love Africa Global Radio.
Now we'll move on to what's on. And since I'm the one driving the ship or sailing the ship today, I'm going to the island of Mamiaba and Waminta as she tells us what's on for today.
What's on?
What's on?
Hey.
Hi.
Wow.
I'm welcome to your island.
That was so fake.
Okay. Hi, Mami Abba. Is that any real than the first one?
Is there a word like faker?
I think fakest would do. Fakest would do. What's
fake
on?
than the initial one.
What's on? Tell us what's happening. What's on?
My history is in my skin.
Okay. Well, at least I'm happy because this one is not about death or witchcraft or anything. So yeah, your history is in your skin.
My history is in my skin.
Well, that's
this
nice.
is a free global network event for men who identify as black.
Wow. Wow, that's great.
It's actually the first in a series of web-based support group for black men to speak freely and to share their thoughts and reflections about the things that concern them.
That's great.
This is the first one,
Wow.
and it's on the topic COVID-19 and Black Lives Matter.
Wow. That's a great thing. I mean, putting those two things together.
It's actually a good thing because most of the people that face police brutality in the West are black men.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is creating the opportunity for them to come out and to talk
speak
about
up.
their experiences with like-minded people,
Yeah.
then I believe it's actually a very good thing.
It's a laudable thing, and it's a great thing that's happening. It gives them the opportunity to talk about things that they otherwise wouldn't have had a platform to come out for this. So this is an awesome thing. So if you're a black man out there, you said it's a free global event.
It's been organized by the Black African and Asian Therapy Network.
The Black African and Asian Therapy Network
in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
So this is not just for black men. If you're white but you identify as black.
Okay.
So black people, African people, Asian people can join in this web-based support group.
Okay.
It's for free. It's happening tomorrow, the 25th. The 25th of June, or from July, from 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time to 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. United Kingdom time.
Well, that's great. So you can check it out.
And you can register on the Black African and Asian Therapy Network.com. That is baatn.org.uk. baatn.org.uk.
Oh, that's awesome. So if you're out there, you identify as black, you're not necessarily black, but you identify as black, or you're black, you're out there, this is a great opportunity for you to be able to put your voice out there, speak out, tell us your experiences, and get to inspire and motivate other young blacks out there, or just become a support system for others who might need it. Well, I guess that's all we have for what's on, or there's more?
There's more. There's actually one more thing. There's a new online store where one can get books on black history.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great.
So the store is blackhistorybooksuk.com, and then their collections include, they have bestsellers, they have the business collection, they have the education collection, they have the health and nutrition collection, they have history, and then they have psychology, they have spirituality, and then religion. So if you're looking for books on black history in any of this, under any of these topics, you can just go to blackhistorybooks.com and then search for them and then buy them. You don't have to go around looking for books in stores, especially with COVID-19.
Yeah, you don't want to be
moving
touching
around.
hardcovers.
Yeah. So all you have to do, and e-commerce is becoming a thing.
It is actually a thing right now.
Yeah, so you can just go on blackhistorybooks.com and then find books that you can use to educate yourself on black history, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement going on right now.
Well, that's an awesome, like, you've heard it right. You've heard it from us. blackhistorybooks.com. So you can go and check it. I mean, an online store for books of black history. And she's mentioned the various categories. You can find different history in various categories. This is this is actually ours. It's like I mentioned earlier, it's a gold mine. You get a lot of information out of this. Thank you so much, Mami Abba. If you're listening, don't forget to go check it out. blackhistorybooks.com. Please do that. And now we'll be looking at what is new.
What's new? What's new? What's new? What's new?
I still hide to smoke.
Okay, just... You've done this before, so I know it's something. What is it? A book, a movie, something? Because I just wanted to. You still hide to smoke.
I still hide to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie from Algeria.
Oh.
Like, it's a movie like You Die at 20.
Basically, telling me my face like that without anything else.
So this is a movie from Algeria, okay? It follows 50-year-old Fatima, who runs a single-sex hayman. So a hayman is a bathhouse with multiple rooms for clearing the body and the soul according to traditional ritual performed by another person. So it's a bathhouse with different rooms where you go for spiritual cleaning for the body and the soul.
Okay.
So Fatima runs a single-sex hayman that is one for females only. That serves as a refuge for women. The place become a setting for a series of confrontations between women of all ages.
Yeah, I can just imagine a bathhouse with different rooms, soul cleansing.
So this is the movie was released in 2016.
Okay.
But it was made to base in 1995. And the situation is tense in the capital of Algeria, Algiers. The day ahead promises to be hectic for all, and for Fatima in particular. Already, while walking to her place of work, she is the distant witness of a terrorist attack. At the Haman, Fatima should feel better, but the atmosphere proves electric in her small enclosed world. She has great difficulty in maintaining order. All the more as Miriam, a 16-year-old pregnant girl, comes to take shelter at the Haman. And as Irate's brother Mohammed is after her to cleanse his honor in blood. So to know what happens to Miriam, to Fatima, and if Mohammed will succeed in actually cleansing Miriam's honor in blood, you should go check out I Still Hide to Smoke.
But the title is I Still Hide to Smoke. You should see Mami Abba doing this, the 2-finger thing right now. It's interesting. It's just interesting. But you can check out the movie, like she said, I Still Hide to Smoke, and it's from Algeria. The beautiful thing, it's from Algeria. So just check out, know what happens, the fate of these 3 people who are out there for each seeking to soul cleanse and body cleanse one another. Well, that's all we have for What's New, Mami Abba.
Yes, that's all we have for What's On and What's New.
Okay, so permission
until same time Monday.
Oh yeah, sure, until same time Monday. So I guess I can take permission to just fall out directly from your island and just reverse and go back into the mainland. It's something.
Yeah, let me make this correction.
Okay.
This Seth just actually drew my attention to this.
Okay.
Thank you, Seth. So I said until same time Monday, no, but until tomorrow, because on the At Africa show, there's a What's On and the What's New segment, and I'm on it.
Okay, so you still get the chance to listen to the lovely voice of Mami Abba on the At Africa show tomorrow. Don't forget, I mentioned earlier, we're having the godfather of hip life in Ghana, Reggie Rockstone, live in the building.
Yay!
On the At Africa show.
Mr. R2G refused to grow.
Of course he refuses to grow. And now the Wache is actually in the system as well.
Yeah.
You know the Wache, right?
The Wache in the jar?
Yeah. The lovely Wache in the jar. So he's going to be here. He's going to talk about all things. Just make a date. I already told you. Tell Siri for the iPhone saved family, please inform Siri.
Why do you keep
And then for those of you with your Androids, feel free, book a date, put it on your calendars, let your email calendars, Gmail, just book it. It's going to give you a prompt. Tomorrow from 12 to 1:30 p.m. we have the grandpapa here. Mami Abba, are you rapping? You're definitely rapping.
Are you rapping?
We'll be rapping. We'll be rapping to meet the Godfather and yes, get to hear his journey, so much and experience, learn, and it will be a fun time here. Don't miss it. Like we say here, miss it, miss out. Well, thank you, Mami Abba, for What's On and What's New. Also, we want to say that we leave you with La Palme by Reggie Rockstone featuring Slim Vim. Well, that's actually the song we'll be leaving you with. But before that, would actually be taking a wonderful one. This is the poem, and the title is the key. I mentioned earlier, Beulah Nimene. Beulah Nimene, and this is the key. So enjoy. This is actually picked by Mami Abba. You should applaud her taste in choosing these lovely, lovely poems for us every day.
Education, we say, is the key to success. Yet we have tossed the key in the deepest oceans, blinding our hearts to its revelations. Être petit, on n'est pas besoin de toi. Be gone. We don't need you. We'll find our way in whatever way we may. Nelson Mandela stated, and I vividly quote, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Yet, we have let down our arms and render our minds dormant, for we believe that there are other competing priorities, therefore, education can wait. It is written in the scriptures that the lack of knowledge causes a nation to perish, yet we dare attribute our fall as a nation to anything else but the lack of knowledge. For we continuously refuse to invest in our minds and are seeing to it that its gardens are turned into refuge dumps, and the only thing we feed it is trash. Just as the body can never survive without its heart, so there exists absolutely no possibility of a developed Liberia if our minds remain undeveloped. And now I vividly see why Dr. Hamilton Brown 2017's Independence Day orator stated, and I vividly quote, "Our peace will falter if our people remain uneducated and ungroomed." How then do we anticipate a better Liberia with a messy educational sector, as we call it? Just as the body needs food, so does the mind need knowledge. Well, though a person could succeed without education, but if you dare point me to a person who succeeded without education and still does not need an educated person on his journey if he truly wishes to keep his success, I'll throw my pens away and feed my books to the fire. But till then, I never stop believing in the power of education. Said a dear friend of mine. The drums in heaven are sounding. The rain has slowly yet painfully washed the tears from our eyes. It is time to invest in education, pick up our weapons and build our nation. It's never too late for reconciliations. Value our minds like we value our souls. Fill up classrooms like we fill up football fields. Feed our minds with books like we fill our lungs with air. This is an age of enlightenment. A time for change, and the only thing that's to be changed is our way of thinking. Remember, there is no such thing as too educated, for the mind will continuously hunger for knowledge. Unquote. Thank you.
Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future.
There indeed is no such thing as too educated for the mind. Yes, it's good to learn, it's good to know, it's good to be informed, and that helps you make wise decisions along the way. Well, all too soon, we've come to the end of another lovely show. Today it was driven by the ladies, and I hope you enjoyed it. We've come to the end of it, and until we come your way Monday, we'd have to say bye-bye. But... yeah, the tech guys they just can't get over the fact that we're having the godfather of hip life here. They just can't get enough of the fact that they literally are just yearning for his song more and more. So I'll be leaving you with a song by Reggie Rockstone, but please do stay safe out there. South Africa has recorded 400,000 plus. And 6,000 plus lives have been lost. Stay safe, and don't forget, it doesn't cost a thing to love somebody out there.
Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future.